Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Dennis from N1S Studios, and today we will be streaming a game made by Wilk Studios' very own Wilson, which is called Shiang-Ji for the level 99 game jam. Is that correct, Wilson?
Yeah, that is correct. And correction, it's actually Wilk Games, not Wilk Studios.
Oh, sorry, I've combined both our studios. Yeah, so Wilk Games. Yep, it
Yeah.
says it right here. I'm so sorry, but anyways.
Mm.
So this is part of a game jam. So for N1 Studios, we basically have this website that's quite powerful, but I feel like we're not really utilizing it a lot. So we're only using it for blogs. So we kind of want to try to diversify. So that's the reason why we're doing this today. So I kind of want to showcase this game that you made for this game jam.
Mm.
And the rating process is still going on. So for anyone who's tuning in who actually thinks this is cool, they can then play your game and rate it as well to help you out too. So that's the whole idea behind this.
Yeah.
So for today's format, what's going to happen is that I'm here on the helm, I'm on the control, so what I'll do is I'll play the game, and I will ask Wilson some questions about his motivations of making this game. And joining me besides Wilson is also our colleague Jason, who is...
Hello.
How would you define yourself, Jason? Do you play a lot of games? I brought you here basically to have a layman's perspective. So how would you describe yourself?
I think I'll be the most layman of laymen there will be. I have very little experience in programming, and I must say I don't play enough games to be a game aficionado, but I'd like to think that I could still help to contribute a little bit in this stream that you have here.
So that's exactly why I brought you on, kind of have a fresh person's point of view, because I do play a lot of games for a long time, and I assume it's the same for Wilson as well.
Actually, since I started game developing, I haven't really had a lot of time to play games, but, I still play once in a while.
I can get behind that. I totally understand. Okay, well, so anyways, I will, without further ado, I'm just going to start playing, and we can talk as we go. It's an informal stream. None of us here are really professionals. We're just playing to raise awareness about Brunei game development and this game for the level 99 game jam.
Yeah.
So, let me just go ahead. So feel free to commentate over anything if you see me doing anything wrong or if you just want to talk.
Yeah, sure.
Alright. So I played this once already, but I didn't finish it. So right now I'm in the game, so I'm using typical controls WASD. So we met at the Brunei MSME Festival, right?
You did.
And I think I may be remembering wrongly. Didn't you say that Tikus Tales was your main flagship game right now that you're working on?
It is actually my main project. Yeah,
Yes.
It's still going on. Yeah.
Didn't you say that was made in Game Maker engine?
No. Oh, I've always been using Unity.
Okay, so that's
I
what
was
I
never
mean.
using Game Maker. I think we talked about what was it? Was it Game Maker or was it what's the other one? Godot? Yeah, we talked a bit about Godot. Yeah, but I was just like bringing it up because it was starting to become popular.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking of
I
exploring it.
mistakenly thought that you were using Game Maker, so you've always been using Unity?
Yeah, I have.
So that's that question down the drain. I was gonna ask you why did you switch from from Game Engine to Unity, but so you've always just been working in Unity then?
Yeah, I have been working with Unity, but when I first started, I actually didn't know about Unity in game development. I was actually using something called Android Studio. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Is that for the phone?
Yeah, it's actually for making apps, but I actually wanted to make games. Yeah, you put on it.
Yep.
I actually managed to make games out of it for Android. Yeah, and then I learned separately how to do Apple apps using Swift.
I'm doing poorly, but yes. Okay. Because I did see your...
Yeah, using Swift.
What do you call that? Like the game's version of bibliography? Basically, you have released quite a lot of mobile games. Oh god.
I do. I do have a lot of mobile games. Yeah. And the first few mobile games, actually, there are two different versions. Like one for the Android and one for the Apple Store.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after I discovered Unity, then I thought, and then I knew, I could just make it for both platforms at once. I didn't have to code differently twice. It was kind of like eye-opening for me.
So it's a different programming, basically the environments for the Android, yeah.
Google uses Java. Yeah, and then Apple has its own programming language, Swift, which is something completely different.
Yeah, it's a
But of
proprietary
course, if you have a lot
like
of programming, then everything's just the same anyways. Just a few tweaks here and there.
I see. Okay, that does
Yeah,
sound like a
but
lot more convenient.
those softwares, they're not actually used for making games.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, but then that's the
But yeah, I
beauty
was just
of
getting
game
back
programming.
to programming. Yeah. What do you have?
You don't. Oh, well. Oh, so this is a check. Okay, so this is a checkpoint, right? So
Yeah, that is a checkpoint.
So whenever I die here, it's gonna send me back here. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of game streams. Not a lot. I mean, I have my favorites, but I've always thought when I watch them, hey, why do they keep dying when they're talking? Like, it's probably not that hard to talk while you play. And now I'm learning firsthand, yeah, it's actually pretty hard. So I'm dying quite badly. When I played this beginning of this week, it was pretty much like just breezing through. So I'm doing really poorly now, but it's okay. So we got the first question already, that's great. So my next question actually is, what inspired the settings here? Because it's very, correct me if I'm wrong, it's very Chinesey, right? Because it's all about the Jiang-shi and the ghosts and stuff.
Okay, so the theme of the jam is actually take the deep breath. Okay, so basically something centered around, taking a deep breath. A lot of people were going to come up with like relaxation games or diving games, stuff like that. But, I grew up watching Chinese movies with those vampires, Chinese vampires. We call them Jiang-shi. I don't know if you guys know them. Okay.
Yes.
Basically, yeah, they are reanimated corpses that can detect you when when you're breathing. So the way you avoid them is by holding your breath. And
so is that actually in the folklore? Because I did do some research on. Okay, wait, how do you pronounce it? Because I thought it's like Jiang-shi, but I don't speak Chinese. So I'm butchering that probably.
Yeah, in Mandarin it's pronounced Jiang-shi.
Jiang-shi. Is that right?
Jiang-shi, yes.
Okay, that's probably as close as I can get it. So.
Yeah, Jiang-shi. In Cantonese it's called Jiang-shi. You guys speak Cantonese.
I see.
Yeah, but basically, they're basically reanimated corpses or Chinese vampires that, if you want to avoid them, you just hold your breath because they detect you based on how you breathe, for example.
That is interesting.
Yeah, so I was thinking, and then the thing is, with this main character, if you look at his outfit, it's actually based on the Jiang-shi outfit.
Yes, exactly. And also his name is a play on
he's
Jiang-shi.
Wearing Yeah. So my initial plan was to make this sort of a game where, he has to disguise himself as a Jiang-shi in order to make his way through the levels, avoid the Jiang-shi and stuff like that. But it kind of deviated a bit, because it was difficult to just have him avoid the Jiang-shi and do nothing else because that would be kind of boring. Then I thought about how to vanquish the Jiang-shi. If you've seen the movies, I don't know, if you've seen the old movies before, the way you sort of like get rid of Jiang-shi is by using charms. You put those yellow piece of paper on their forehead,
basically bashing them on
and then they get deactivated. Yeah, so I mean, you see the charm that I have there is basically, I didn't want to put some Chinese letters in there or something in case there's some superstitious aspect to it. So I just put
I totally understand.
Put the letter W on it. Yeah, so...
Does it stand for anything, the W? Oh my god, I'm wasting my chance. Sorry, God.
Yeah, I just thought of W because it's just Wilk Games.
Oh, brilliant. That's pretty good.
Wilk Games. So... Yeah, it's... The thing is, with game jams, some people... when I make games, especially, I like to inject a bit of our Asian culture into it.
Yep.
Just to get people to know, a bit of our culture.
I realized that quite a lot. Like you have the rafflesia flower, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Even my main project now, Tikus Tales, even the name itself, Tikus, is actually from our, from our Brunei language.
Yeah. Wait, is Tikus Bruneian specifically?
Not Brunei specifically, but when you hear the word Tikus, it's Malay.
Yes, it's our official language. Yeah.
Or Indonesia. Yeah. So that's the point there. Yeah, actually, when I made this, some people were not aware of what Jiang-shi were.
Yes, I can imagine. Oh,
they were not familiar with it. So it was kind of like an educational opportunity as well.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
My next question, I actually wanted to ask. So, I did my research a bit because I didn't want this to be like completely aimless. So, I mean, in terms of like me asking questions. So, what I was thinking, like, what I ended up doing is I did research on your profile and stuff. So, I went to your social media and kind of read up on everything that you've done. So, I think your Twitter Your Twitter describes yourself as a lover of fried chicken and cats.
I am.
So my question is, so why is the collectible cute dogs? And technically speaking, your main game, Tickus Tales, the main character is Tickus, and you can also be a squirrel, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So why don't you just make like why do you not include cats if you love cats so much? I mean, this is not an attack. I'm just curious. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't include cats because cats are so commonplace. Everyone's making games about cats. It's too common.
Yes, it is actually quite widespread.
It is actually quite widespread, exactly. And the thing is, I came up with Tickus Tales in the year of the rat.
Oh.
In the Chinese calendar.
Damn,
that's why I made a game about. Yeah, that's why I made a game about mice or rats.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the interesting one. Yeah, I was even thinking of making like a game based on the 12 zodiacs in the Chinese calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still stuck on Tickus, so and it's already the year of the rabbit now.
I couldn't really find the timing on that as well. So how long have you been working on Tickus Tales?
Tickus Tales has been I'm doing for like almost 3 years, I think. Almost 3 years.
4 years?
I started in the middle of 3 years. 3 years, not 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I started in the middle of 2020, I think. 2021 to middle of 2020. So it's almost 3 years.
I see. Brilliant.
Yeah. Of course, there was a lot of experimentation in between. I was changing the style here and there, and then just last year I decided to make it 2 players.
Oh, wait, you mean the network stuff is recent?
Yeah. The not network, the co-op, couch co-op 2-player mode
it's a
is
local.
actually
Okay. I see.
Yeah, it's a local one.
Brilliant.
Before that, it was actually single player, and once you start doing things for 2 players, you have to change everything again.
Yes, you have to
I
rebalance
changed
everything.
quite a few times. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question about why I haven't put any cats in. I mean,
no, for
there
sure.
is going to be a cat tail if you're wondering.
I was also thinking I probably just haven't really seen it as well, because you kind of have a crocodile as well in your Tickus Tales. So it doesn't like you're including all these different animals. I thought it was probably going to be there. It's just that the collectibles and your showcase characters so far have like literally just not been cats. That's all I was like asking.
Yeah.
My next question here that I have is that in the description for this game, you kind of mentioned that Shiang-Ji, which is the main character, right? Oh god, yep.
Yeah.
So you mentioned he doesn't really have a
You don't have to hold your breath for this one, because even if you hold your breath for this
he
one,
can
it's
see.
gonna see you.
But the poison, I keep forgetting because of the poison, so I just hold my breath anyway. So, that, yep.
Yeah.
So my next question was, in the description for this game, which is called Shiang-Ji, which is the main character's name, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So you mentioned that he doesn't have a good pair of lungs. So my question is, what would you consider? Oh, I don't have to hold my breath. What would you consider a good amount of time? Wait, let me.
For holding your breath.
Yeah, because like technically I did do the time, and basically Jiang-shi can hold his breath for about 5 seconds, right?
Exactly 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Exactly 15 seconds.
15, 1-5.
Yeah,
nice,
for
5.
me, personally, myself, I can hold my breath for about a minute.
For how many minutes?
I think a good 1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay, I can hold for about 30 seconds. So that's why I was just wondering, like, what would you consider a good amount to hold your breath? So basically minutes.
Yeah, I think 30 seconds is pretty average, I think. 15 seconds, I think, is a bit too short.
That makes
But
sense.
I didn't want to make it too long here, too.
Yes, because it's game balancing and everything. I totally understand.
Everything, yeah. Yeah, but I think, 30 seconds sounds about average. 1 minute, I think, is also not too bad. But I think, I heard, if you want to be really like healthy or something, you are supposed to be able to hold it for 2 minutes or something. I don't know. I don't remember.
I probably can't do that, but yes, fair enough. I think that's probably right.
Yeah, I don't really remember.
Okay. Oh, so basically I think that's probably the end for my questions about the development.
Oh, okay.
So I actually wanted to ask now to shift the questions to kind of the jam itself, like the process. Sorry, that was more about background. So the process, you had 10 days?
Yeah, it was 10 days. Yeah, 10 days. We were given 10 days. They revealed the theme on the 14th, I think, of April, and then we were given on the day itself. I started actually 1 day after.
So basically,
1 day after, because I was like thinking, I had 9 days.
You had 9 days.
It was 10 days. I started 1 day late.
I see.
Yeah, but then halfway through the jam, they extended it for another day.
Okay, so did you end up using that, or is it still basically
I
you just
basically
spend the 9? Yeah.
Yeah, I basically had 10 full days.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 full days to work on it.
And then this was
That's
a
a short
solo.
test.
You worked on your own.
Yeah. I initially thought about finding someone else because that's the point of game jams, right? But I made all the assets already. This character, it's a funny story. Actually, before I made this game, I was actually working on a 3D animation for Raya.
Yes,
I don't know if
that
you've
one.
seen
That's
my
the one
tape.
where they got
Yeah,
dressed.
there was a character running around being chased by zombies. So I just basically used that character, repurposed it.
I see. So it's kind of like you redid the base.
Yeah. I redid. The thing is actually the same if you haven't noticed.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't notice. But is that okay with the
entire
jam?
character, of course, the animations I had to. Yeah, the animations I had to,
Yeah, to redo from
make
scratch.
new ones, of course. Yeah.
Is that okay for jam rules? Because usually I remember jams
It
saying
is. Yeah, it is.
It's okay,
You're
right?
allowed to even buy assets and
Okay,
stuff
I just
like
didn't want
that.
to like maybe
You
out you by accident. Yeah, because I know some jams are very like peculiar about that. I mean, not peculiar, but specific.
They
They're like,
are.
you can't. Yeah, you can't do anything pre-made. You have to do everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm fine with that too. In terms of the scripting and everything, I actually did from scratch.
Yes, because that would make
yeah, and even the level, all these levels, not the character, the levels, I did from scratch.
That's the thing I wanted to actually ask next, because a lot of people I think who's played and rated these games already so far on itch, they keep saying the same thing, and I agree. The levels look really good.
Yeah, thanks. I try. It's my first game jam, by the way.
Oh, brilliant! That's awesome. So how long did the levels take? Like, how difficult was it for you to actually make these levels?
Each level took me probably a day plus.
So this is just design or just like everything?
There are actually 4 levels here, right? If you've already played the game, so there are 4 levels here. Initially, I thought about just making one huge level, and then at the end, just chuck a boss at the end there.
Yes, so this is, speaking of the devil, this is the boss area already.
Yeah, this is the boss. A lot of people had trouble.
Yes, I have trouble with this boss as well. So actually, okay, so why don't you walk me through here? So this boss, right?
Yeah, this boss, okay, so she's the queen of the Jiangshi. Her name is Niang-shi. Now, Niang in Chinese just means female.
Okay. Oh. Okay,
so I just have to call her Niang-shi, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and then she's basically the queen of the Jiangshi in this particular storyline here. The thing is, you have to watch your debuff. You see the mark debuff there? That's actually what kills most people.
Where's the
eyes beside you? It means someone is looking at you.
Yes, exactly. I knew that it was someone looking at me. So that's the debuff doesn't damage you, right?
You take damage. You take damage every 10 seconds when you have that debuff on you.
I see.
Which is why I remember you were telling me you randomly died.
Yes, and that's what it was.
That's what it is.
Okay.
If you go back to the beginning of the first level there's a prompt that tells you if you play now. Yeah, there's a prompt that tells you if you get marked, you're actually feared. You're actually so scared of being observed by the zombies or the vampires that, you lose health every 10 seconds.
I see. Okay, so I missed that. But the thing is, the reason why I just walked around there towards the end is because I realized if you die, you keep your charms, so you don't have to keep getting them later. Because the way you design this boss, I think, like, if you have to get the charm when you knock them like unconscious, right? So,
I see. Yeah, that's a strategy.
Yeah, that's a strategy. So I just squirrel the charms and then I try to kill them in one go. So
yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I'm gonna have to patch that.
Wait, why would you patch it? Why would you?
I am gonna have to patch that. Once you die, I'm gonna reduce the charms to 0.
Well, but it's a good thing to leave in, I think. Oh, so yeah, so the part that's difficult here is like, I always assume that. Oh, so that's one of the things that could go wrong. So what I always assume is that when this guy comes in, he damages you. So he doesn't actually. It's a debuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna ignore that. And okay, I think so I might not win this, but essentially this is the game because this is the last level. So so yeah, maybe I will leave this for people to play. So
play by themselves. Yeah, sure. Or let them experience it themselves.
Do you want to just make a shout out, I guess, to tell people where they can play this game?
Yeah, sure. So if anyone's interested, you can find this on my itch page, wilkgames.itch.io. I have my other projects there, but this one is still currently under review. You can still vote for it, give it a rating, and I'd appreciate your support if you'd go and do that. And even just playing it, just to put my game out there in terms of popularity, I'd appreciate that.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah, thank you guys very much.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, we definitely will share this on our IG to tell people about the video so they can check it out too.
Hey, thanks.
Aside from that, do you want to also do a shout out for your main project, which is Tikus Tale?
Oh yeah, I'm also working on this project called Tikus Tale. It's a 3D platformer. It's going to be co-op, local co-op for 2 people to play. You can play single player or 2 people. And mechanics of the levels and the bosses change depending on which mode you play. So if you play single level, the mechanics different. If you play 2 players, it's going to be a different set of mechanics where you have to where teamwork comes more into play. It's a 3D platformer. I took inspiration from a lot of different 3D platformers for that project. It's Mario Odyssey, for example, A Hat in Time, Crash Bandicoot.
Nice.
And the style is my own style, which I like to call low poly style.
So it's kind of like what you're seeing now, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But
it's a good style.
Yeah. Reason I picked low poly is because I'm the only person working on it,
yes,
so I
sure,
don't really have a lot of time.
You're basically making the best of what you have.
I don't have a lot of time to make detailed stuff, exactly.
Totally understand.
Yeah, you can make low poly look good too, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, go check out my Tikus Tales, go check out my other apps on the Android Play Store, it's all there.
So you have a social media presence, so everyone can just search for Wilk Games, not studios.
Games, not Wilk Studios.
Yeah, Wilk Games. Okay, so search for Wilk Games, and okay, wait, I had something to say before. I had a closing comment, but when I said Wilk Studios, I completely forgot. What did I want to say? It's quite important too. Hold on. So, okay. Can I ask you and you might not have an answer to this, and it's fine. This is the last question, basically. So, do you have a rough release date for Tikus Tales for people who are interested?
I was actually planning to release it end of this year.
So 2023.
2023, end of this year, but I think I'll be postponing it for at least 1 more year, so end of 2024. Doing this jam actually taught me something. I managed to finish this. I haven't finished a project in a few years, actually, since working on Tikus Tales.
I totally understand.
Yeah, so when I was making this game, I actually had a bigger scope in mind, but I learned to actually cut down on the scope in order to meet the deadline. So what I'm going to do with Tikus Tales is the same thing. I'm going to start cutting down on the scope and try to roll it.
Yeah, I think that's a sound move, basically, to kind of curate yourself. Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. So so thanks so much for joining us. So I'll end this stream now, and I'll basically put it on, and then I will make a shout out to you so you can tell the people, and I'll also tell the people who are following us about this so they can check out your game. Cool.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, man.
So I will.